Good afternoon. I'm Nadine Barge, President of the Residents Association, and I'm here to call the meeting to order so that we can have some time to talk about different things that have come up. The meeting is the 13th of May today, and at 1 o'clock. And our agenda includes a way to save employees' appreciation funds throughout the year, and 2, information from Greg and Julie about the medical side of the crossings. Something about what's happening to the staff, what's happening to how are the staff managing, how are the patients managing, what we can do as the Residents Association to help the staff and the patients. Because you cannot ask questions from the video, please have a pen and paper with you so you can write your questions down. And after the meeting ends, put them in your floor's question box, that basket out by the food basket. The board members, along with Greg and Julie, will answer the questions, and they will be written up and put in an addendum to the meeting's minutes.
I'm Gail Zampa, Secretary of the Woodland Creeks Residents Association. Copies of the quarterly meeting of last February the 20th were distributed on February the 18th into the cubbies of the membership. I've posted another copy of those minutes in the mailroom for those of you who want to review them, or for the new residents who haven't yet joined the association. And that's about all I have to say, and hope to see you all soon.
Good afternoon. My name is Carolyn Lana Zach, for those of you that have moved in since our last meeting. I am the treasurer for the Resident Association. And mentioning that, I would like to tell those of you that are new that it only costs $10 a year to belong to the association. So if you have not done that yet, I would encourage you to do that, because if you are not a member of the association, you cannot vote on board members. And that's very important to get the person you want on the board. Okay, now to our total funds. For the total amount in shares is $6,929.17. Checking account, $4,022.37. We have had a couple of families that are already donating to the Employee Association Fund. We have $250 in that account. And then we still have a few outstanding Employee Association checks from last year, and that amount is $636. Thank you so much for your time and attention.
Good afternoon. My name is Wayne Neal. Excuse me, I'm a director of the Residents Association. We have 5 elected directors, and they are elected for a 2-year term. The elections are in November of every year. And we do have them every year because in order to keep continuity on the board, we only elect 3 directors 1 year and 2 the following year. Following the election, the board of directors meet and select 3 of their members to become the officers. That's the president, vice president, and secretary. And the officers serve for a period of 1 year. And all of our periods start on January 1st. So knowing that, I'd like to ask the new residents and any other residents that haven't joined our association to please consider doing so. It's a very easy thing to do. The cost is $10 a year in dues. And all you have to do if you're a new member is to give us a check with your name and apartment number on it, turn it into the front desk or to one of the directors, and you will automatically become a member of the association. And as a reminder, to those existing members that have not paid their dues, I would like to remind you to do so. I think I have to remind myself I'm one of those delinquent members, but it's important that we get the funds in so we can continue our operations. With that, I'll say thank you and good luck.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Krusak, one of the new members of the Residence Board. We've had a strange spring. In fact, I thought my first presentation to you all would be in person and not like this. New normal, I'm getting tired of that word. Anyway, things have been so different. Those of you who lived here a long time are kind of, well, not unexpected, I guess, when you walk into the grocery store and find a line and find no food on the shelves, but it was a definitely shock to me. I wonder if I had moved overnight to some third world country. Then you start adding in the fact that our movements are limited, our ability to be able to visit friends and family is just about stopped. But you know, come to think of it, we are so lucky to be here. We have a beautiful place to live, and even with everything going on, the inside of this place, the outside of this place are kept up. It's lovely. The staff is going crazy trying to give us things to do, come up with some real interesting ideas. Me, for one, I never realized I liked coloring pictures with colored pencils. Don't think I've done that since my kids were little. Oh, those masks, let's not forget them. Does anybody have one that's comfortable, they can breathe through, and that doesn't fog up their glasses? If you do, please let me know. I'm in desperate need of one like that. But to get back with how lucky we are, the staff here has been absolutely amazing. Our food is delivered to our apartments, wine and ice cream appear magically at our doors. There are things to do. There are still people that we can talk to while we're out walking or talking to somebody over the balcony. Things that get broken get fixed, and the staff is really wonderful. They have friends, they have family, they have other people they need to care for. But while they're here, they are with us 100%. And you can tell that by the generosity of their actions, by the smiles in their voices, and we're just so lucky to have them. One of the things that we can do, I know we've all been saying thank you in person and filling out iCards, but one of the additional things we can do is to start thinking about the Employee Appreciation Fund. Yeah, you guessed, I'm in charge of that this year. When my husband and I moved here last summer, we never even heard of such a thing until practically donation day. And I had to get some information on what it was and how much was to be expected. The first thing I was told is it is strictly voluntary. We don't need to contribute anything if we can't afford it or just don't feel the inclination. But somebody finally told me that a general rule of thumb would be $1 a day per person, or whatever your heart tells you. Well, okay, it's not just your heart, it's your budget too, and I'm not presenting this until time to turn the money in was hard. I couldn't get the heart and the budget to match. So this year, I think we need to start thinking about this earlier, especially now while the staff is working so hard and doing so much for us, and this is all so fresh in our minds. Carolyn Lonziak, the treasurer, has arranged to put a locked box in the mailroom in the independent living area. And we can put checks in that box. She will take them regularly and put them on her spreadsheets and make sure that we get credit for that amount. In my case, I thought maybe quarterly would be a good thing to do. But on second thought, monthly works really well for me because I do make other payments regularly on a monthly basis, and it's just so much easier for me just to tack this in along with my other monthly payments. Hopefully, paying in advance a little bit will be good ideas for some of you, or at least do think about it. Again, remember this is a strictly voluntary thing, and the employees will be very happy to know that we think so much of them that we actually can show it in this way. Please, thank you for considering this. Continue to let the staff know how grateful that we are to have them. Stay safe, stay well. I'll see you around the building, but I'll be looking like this. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, and welcome to the Residents Association social distancing meeting of the first quarter of 2020. My name is John Swartout, and I'm the president of the board. I'm sorry. I'm having delusions of grandeur. I'm the vice president of the Residents Association, and I assist President Nadine where directed, and I stand in for the president when she's absent. I'm also the president of the Woodworkers Club, and I'd like to give that report now. The last meeting of 2019 was not held, therefore the election of officers did not take place, and that will be the first order of business when we're allowed to congregate once again. For those not familiar with our shop, we have a wonderful facility, but it needs an overhaul. I will be encouraging our members to come up with a plan for making the shop more efficient, and also to make it so that more than 2 people can be in there at once. During this hiatus, I know that Walter Wills, Tom Rauer, and Bob Pressner have all been making sawdust in the shop. The others may have, but they didn't sign the sign-in book, so I can't name them. Any Woodland Creek resident can become a member of the club upon payment of $50 in dues, and after being checked out on the various machines in the shop. Dues are used to offset the cost of shop supplies like sandpaper and dust masks. Speaking of dust masks, I discovered a package, an unopened package of N95 masks, which I contributed to the crossings for use in healthcare. Anyone wishing to become a member of the club, just contact me. I'm in the book. And that concludes my report. Next, we're going to hear from the activities chairman.
Well, welcome to this new version of an activities meeting. I have in front of me all the wonderful things that you can participate in. Don't forget, we still have a calendar, and there's lots of interesting and fun things on here. Bingo games, walking, putting contests, don't forget mix and mingle and ice cream. But sure, look at this. There's a lot of things that you can still do even though we're not meeting in groups. In fact, you can participate in the coloring contest at the front desk, So anything that you need is at the front desk. My favorite is the bingo, where the numbers are on that channel 896, and it goes for the week, and this is a really fun thing to do. But don't forget to pick up your daily delight. This is a media packet. It has crossword puzzles, Sudoku, a coloring, a word search, lots of fun things to do in here. So don't be idle. You have lots of things here to keep your hands and your brain busy until Activities Committee will meet again once a month.
Hello, my name is Sue Neely, and I'm here to give you a report from the library. I'm in charge of the library committee. And I think most of you are familiar with the library, so I'm not going to go into too much of the basics. But just to let you know, we do meet every month in the library when things are normal. The library is always open. It's an honor system. We are changing the return policy. We now would like to ask you to please return the books that you've borrowed to the billiards room. Return them to the billiards room, and we will leave them there for a day or two while they disinfect, or we'll disinfect them. At any rate, don't worry about that. Just bring them to the billiards room. We will, of course, reshelve them. We have several kind of special collections, I think. One is we have a section for new donations. We have a section of large print books. We have a large selection of Western novels. And we also always have the book club selections. The library committee as a group maintain the books in the library and reshelve the ones that were returned. We review donations as they come in. We also maintain the magazine collection in the living room to keep it only to current issues. Our recent project, which we've been really excited about, is we have purchased a collection of books to be in a special location in the library in memory of deceased residents of independent living. They'll be on a designated shelf, and we'll maintain them there. Our plans, as you know, were interrupted just as we were getting into that and getting ready for it. In fact, we planned an open house. First of all, it was going to be held in April and then in May, and now we do not know. Simply stay tuned, and we'll certainly let you know. But the open house hopefully will showcase the library to everyone, and certainly the new people, and also highlight our memorial books collection. I'd like to say I hope you're enjoying the library as much as we enjoy taking care of it. I was up there yesterday and noticed quite a few empty spaces on the shelves. So I'm hoping it means that you're up there taking books and enjoying them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandy Siegel, and I am on the welcoming committee along with Ardeen Martin. She's the one that puts gives flowers in a coffee mug to the new people. But I'm the one that welcomes. So we have a welcome club meeting once a month where we have everyone come out, and Julie provides the donuts, which are really good. And then we try and tell everybody what they need to know about moving into the crossing. Anyway, the new people are Coach Bill Kruger, who is the winningest high school basketball coach in the country, I think. Laverne Reichert is a quilter. She moved in and they immediately put her in quarantine. So the fact that she's still here is wonderful. Elaine Henjum likes to sing, and she's been working on that putt-putt thing. Dot and John Overton aren't here yet. They're coming in from Dickinson. I'm not sure why they're waiting, but they are. And Dorothea and David Dietz haven't moved in yet either, but I think they're moved sort of. And that's it. So welcome to everybody.
My name is John Sneed. I'm the Grounds Committee Chair. Our job basically is to, not that we have a job really, but what we do is lend advice when asked and input as necessary and help as necessary to Jeff Abenmarg, the maintenance chairman, director of the physical plant. Jeff, as far as I know, currently the grounds are in really good shape. I've not been unhappy at all. A lot of blooms and everything's looking nice and green. Jeff, though, received a gift of a greenhouse, a 9 foot by 12 foot greenhouse, and he intends to install it by the residence planters down here whenever we return to some semblance of normality around here, or normalcy as the case might be. It'll be, it's already on the campus, it's in pieces. He'll reassemble it when he has the opportunity to do so. It will be available for the residents to use. It won't be a concrete installation. He's going to put it on treated timber for various and sundry reasons. But when it's done, it'll be for the residents, and we have several people I know on campus who probably would like to use a greenhouse. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for tuning in to watch the Resident Association meeting, and thank you also for inviting me to speak today just to inform you a little bit about what's going on in our community. As you know, we have a calendar for independent living, and just like you have a calendar, assisted living, memory support, and our healthcare side also has their own activity calendars. You can see how they have them. So we are still providing all our residents and family members in healthcare with an activity calendar. Carmen, as many of you know her, she does all the programming and activities for assisted living. She is doing a fantastic job taking care of those residents during this time. Her focus has really been on family connections, and she schedules FaceTime visits. She schedules room visits. She walks individually with the residents 2 to 3 times a week. She does bingo in their rooms and passes out prizes. She also does similar things like we do with the drink delivery or a treat delivery. She also had a Cinco de Mayo delivery in her area last week. So she is really keeping those residents engaged and active, even though they are kind of confined to their apartments at this time. Right now in healthcare, as you may have seen in our update about a month ago, we have Pastor Sheila engaging with those residents during this time in long-term care, and she has been doing a wonderful job. The family members, the residents, the staff over there have been praising her and what a great job she's doing over there. She is just as Carmen is, she is really connecting with families through FaceTime, Skype, any kind of modes of video chatting. So those residents are still getting to visit and talk with their loved ones on a regular basis. We also do some really neat things called window visits, and we do those in assisted living, healthcare, and memory support, where the families can come and see their loved one and talk on the phone through the window. So it's kind of face-to-face, but there's separation with the window. She also is continuing to do bingo in their rooms. On Fridays, they do crafts. Wednesdays, she does a kind of food treat, afternoon snack delivery. And then again, I know she spends most of her time really making sure those residents are getting connected with their families. Then we also, many of you have also met Marquita, who does all the activities and memory support. And just like Sheila and Carmen, she spends most of her day connecting those residents with their loved ones. She also does in-room one-on-one activities based on those residents' needs and what they might like that day. She also does beverage deliveries, ice cream deliveries. She does the window visits with family members. We're continually keeping in contact with all the loved ones in all our neighborhoods right now. We know how important it is to keep them connected with their families and to keep their spirits up. We have done everything we can to try to, remain some sort of normalcy for those residents and to keep them engaged with their families, even though they may not be able to see them in person. If you have any questions, suggestions, or ideas, let me know. If any of you are interested in connecting with one of your friends or loved ones in one of the healthcare hallways, reach out to us and we would love to schedule a phone call or a FaceTime visit with one of your friends that maybe you might be missing since we can't, cross over. Thanks again.
Hey everyone, it's Greg. I have been asked by the resident council to kind of give an update of what's going on here as we start to reopen here at the crossings. But before I do that, hey, I want to just give a huge shout out to all you residents. You guys have been fantastic. I mean, really, you're supporting the team. I've gotten so many nice compliments from you residents, from the resident families. Just nice notes, thank you cards. You guys rock. Thank you. You made this a lot easier. I know it's been difficult. We're not enjoying, having all these confined rules that we have to follow, but I really do believe that you guys are in the best community you can be. My mom is 90 years old and she lives in North Carolina by herself. She's very healthy. She is bored silly. My brother and his wife live nearby, and so they go in and check on her. But they do it from the driveway. They just yell. She's really just socially isolated because no one wants to go into the house. I've got cousins that live in the area too, and no one wants to be the person that goes in there and gets her sick. And she hates doing puzzles. And I just got a picture of her 7th complete 1,000 piece puzzle. She is just pulling her hair out. She's so bored. So at least here, I was telling her that, we go through and give wine and, beers on Tuesday and ice creams on Wednesdays. And she goes, I wish someone would knock on my door and give me a glass of wine, So it's not perfect and we understand it. We want to get back to a new normal. But I really do think that the crossings is the best place for everyone right now. I also want to give a huge shout out to my team. I am so proud of all of my team. Gee whiz, the healthcare people. I think Julie later on is going to be telling you what we're doing down in the healthcare halls, but they're doing everything that they need to do. We've gotten all kinds of protective equipment that were donated by residents here, resident families. Again, thank you so much for all your support, but we're asking the concierge team all of a sudden how to step up and learn how to take people's temperatures. That's not in any job description anywhere. We've really divided this building in such a way that I've not been down in the healthcare halls for a month, because we don't want to bring any illnesses back with us. And so Julie and the marketing team and Julie's team, me, we're all over here. Healthcare is on their side, but tremendously proud of my team. What's going to happen here in the future? As the restrictions are starting to ease, how are we going to get some of this stuff open? We still have to abide by the CDC rules. And so what that means is like dining. We want to start opening communal dining, but we can only right now do it for 25% of the capacity of the room. We still have to be, socially distanced. So all the tables have to be 6 feet apart. I can only put about 11 or 12 tables in there, and then only individual diners can sit at each table, or a couple, if you're married. So it's not like, you front on the, down the hall, you guys can eat at the same table. You guys are gonna have to eat at separate tables. And we're trying to figure out how this is gonna work because, probably, this is not written in stone, but the way it's going to work is that, hey, starting probably the week of May 18th, and more information to come. So you guys don't need to take notes, just listen to this. But really what we're trying to think about doing is probably, on the 18th, the first floor would, that would be the day that they would eat. Tuesday, it would be the second floor. Now, what I mean by floor, it's going to be, you have to sign up for a specific seating. We're going to have 2 seatings. You have to make a reservation for it. We'll probably only have 12 tables per seating, which you do the math, we'll only be able to do probably 24, 25, depending on the couples, but less than 30 people during that seating. And so we're just trying to figure out how we're going to do that and still then deliver food to all the other floors. And that's probably how that's going to go, because again, you know, if in 2 or 3 weeks, you know, we can all of a sudden open it to 50%, you know, or 75% capacity like restaurants can, because we have to abide by the 6-foot rule until that goes away, we're probably not going to be able to take a lot of people down there. The salon, you know, everyone wants to get their haircut. Look at me. This is the longest my hair has been in decades. But again, we're trying to figure out how to do it, because, you know, we would be bringing Kathleen in only on the IL side. She would have to be considered an essential healthcare, you know, provider, which I think that we can actually determine. But, you know, again, think of what that opens up. You know, she can come in and provide services, but yet family still can't come in. You know, hey, Kathleen is coming in. You know, can I have my personal trainer? No. You know, so again, we have to make sure that we roll that out correctly. Yeah. So again, probably the week of the 18th. I know people want it sooner, but I have to get with the owner of the salon and see how we're going to do it. Because again, are we going to, you know, we've got to limit it to 6 feet in the salon, and are we just going to start with haircuts? Because, you know, I don't know. Hey, everyone's going to want their nails done, their feet done, their hair colored, their haircut. You know, and you know, we just can't have 3-hour services for, you know, one person, because, you know, obviously do the math, you know, not a lot of people will be able to get their hair cut. So we're still, you know, trying to figure that out. But, you know, I promise that we're really working on this. Another thing that I want to talk about is personal responsibility. We've talked about this with all my associates and all my team members. We had a call in the healthcare hall a couple of weeks ago. We had over 120 people on it, and I personally spoke about personal responsibility. Personal responsibility means that, hey, some of our associates are being told, hey, you know what, if you have a family wedding coming up, you're not going to be able to go to it, or we're asking you not to go to it because, hey, we are taking care of a sensitive age group, and we don't want to compromise, you know, someone going to a wedding, or, you know, a birthday party, or a neighborhood barbecue, and then bringing, you know, the virus back to us. We have not had a report of any kind. We have not had any resident or associate test positive, and tremendously proud of that. We want to keep that up, because remember that in the United States, they're saying that 25 to 30% of all the deaths are from senior living communities. In Texas, 75% of all the deaths are people that are over the age of 65. In Galveston County, 90% of the deaths here in the county have come from senior living communities. League City actually has the most COVID viruses, you know, and so it's like, man, do the math. You know, we want to make sure that we just are taking care of all the residents, you know, over in the healthcare halls, you know, and over here. And so we've talked about personal responsibility, and now I'm going to challenge you guys to also have personal responsibility. You know, I know that people are getting together and playing bridge. You know, I know people are getting together, you know, and having 8, 10 people up in their apartment and drinking wine. You know, and I doubt that anyone's, you know, if you're sticking 10 people into an apartment, you're watching social distancing, and I doubt anyone has their masks on. So, you know, you're part of the equation here. That, you know, I'm not saying everyone, but there's a personal responsibility as the, you know, as everything's starting to open up. You have the ability maybe to go to a restaurant, or maybe you've got a family function, or all the grandkids and children want to see you. And we're gonna have a, you know, a barbecue and, you know, Pearland or Sugarland or in Houston or something. You know, I'm gonna ask you guys to just say, hey, not yet, because, you know, again, we don't want anyone to bring the virus back, because, you know, once it's in a building like this, it kind of goes through it quickly. So again, personal responsibility for all of us. I'm trying to think of anything else, you know, I want to mention. We want to get back to normal as quickly as possible. I'm just going to ask you guys to be patient with us, particularly as this opens up. To be perfectly honest, I'm a little disappointed with what I'm reading. You know, last weekend, you know, the second day that everyone can kind of be out and about, and, you know, the beaches in Galveston are packed. I personally went to a restaurant in Sugar Land last Sunday to pick up a to-go order. I was the only person that was wearing a mask. The associates weren't. None of the customers were wearing masks. And I don't like those masks. But we just have to be diligent. And obviously, when you're hearing this, if anyone has any questions on anything that you're hearing or that I'm talking about, just come down and visit me. Just remember, we love you guys. We want you guys to be safe. We want all of our associates to be safe. And I think that's all I have. Look forward to getting this thing over, opening up the dining room, opening up the salon, and I guess that's it. You guys take care. Bye-bye.